Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is here from TechDragon.info, and today we have Tanker Boy here in the KanonenJagdPanzer. The new Tier 8, I had to think for a second, new Tier 8 Premium German tank destroyer. This thing, in a lot of ways, resembles an E25. However, it has one thing that the E25 does not have: a slow rate of fire. Yeah. Now, the E25 of course has the insane machine gun rate of fire, but this tank is actually on the very low end of the rate of fire. Platoon mate is currently in the way for that VK. Can't quite see him. Platoon mate puts in a shell, drives back, and we put in a shell as well. So you may or may not have seen the Jingles review of this tank, and it was a pretty good in-depth analysis about what is up with this tank and what its strengths and weaknesses are. And the biggest really weakness is that the gun is meh. It's okay, it's not bad, but when you're in a bottom tier game, it's less than fantastic. Now, this is of course good ass matchmaking. Loading a heat shell here to go through the front of the, what was it? Thought it was a, yeah, that doesn't matter. Anyways, things getting killed. Back to an AP shell. Now, the problem with this tank is its rate of fire is thus slow that it really has one of the worst DPMs of its tier. And even lower tier tanks have better DPM than this thing, so that's kind of problematic. And we did track the Ferdinands. I'm looking at the map. The map is glitched out. It doesn't show the tanks that are hidden anymore, apparently. Oh no, it does. Never mind. I'm just not looking properly. Anywho, we have this side of a Tiger 2 here, and he's just sitting there. Can we finish him off? Yes, we can. Now, another thing that I've noticed with this tank is that the shell travel time is pretty damn slow, which makes it so much harder to put in shots and things on the move because you have to lead them more. CDC, oh no, not enough lead. But you can really tell that you can just see the shells flying. And you can just tell that they're really not that fast. Looking for a target there, we don't have one. And we finish off the CDC. Looking for a shot, feathering a shot here on the 30. Don't seem to have any. Darn it. Yep, what do we have over there? Light tank. And Billy stops right behind the pillar. Oh, come on. E25 there as well. And we finish him off. Yes, we can. Good shot there. So, we're winning this quite comfortably here, but we're not quite done yet. So the shot we put into the AT-15 earlier clearly didn't hit because he's still full health. This platoon mate here is getting shot a little bit. E25 on our left. Could have just turned our tank around there and finish off that E25 possibly for another kill. I'm guessing he's just trying to help out his platoon mate here, which was kind of at the point of getting overrun. 30 spotted. Rush in, shoot the 30. And we get behind the AT-15 here. And, oh, I think he got tracked. That bit of a bad shot there, at that kind of angle. There we go, look at the surface. And we finish him off. So this thing is pretty fast, but the armor is pretty garbage. It's kind of sad, but the E25 has better armor than this thing. Yeah, it's that bad. It's pretty just bizarre. Anywho, loading a heat shell here to fire at the Oni, but we spawn artillery, so bit of a waste of an heat shell there into the artillery. Oni, that kind of angle, never gonna pen, ever. Yeah, especially with heat shells, since they don't have, don't have any normalization. That was never gonna go in. And backing off here. Oh, bumping into an ally. Shoot the Oni again. Nope. Skipping the Oni, going for the IS-2 here. That should have finished him off. I guess it didn't pen. There we go. Now it did. And go for the Oni. Turret shot. Should be able to pen. Flat surface. Yes, there we go. 28 health left. And I don't know. The reload on this gun feels like a little bit of a... Let's pause it here before the game's over. In case you didn't notice, we have 7 kills. Yeah. But the reload on this gun just feels ever so slightly... How do I put it? Like, eh. That's the only way to describe it. It feels eh. Yeah, that's why we got penned. Well, it doesn't matter. You can the only place you can possibly bounce anything is off that gun, man. Like that, even that isn't very thick, but that is the only chance you have. And maybe if they shoot your side at this kind of angle, but even then, pretty much any gun will overmatch your armor because it's that thin. So you pretty much you don't have to aim at this tank. Just shoot it anywhere, and 99% of the time you will pen. Oh, look, it actually comes with a camo net. That would be nice if you actually got a camo net for free, because it actually comes with one. But yeah, the rate of fire just, I don't know, it just feels like, eh. Like I want to be able to fire that a little bit faster, you know, that a little bit sooner, so I can put in that extra shell and before they hide or die or, you know, get into cover and that is kind of the issue with this tank. Now, it's not a bad tank, as you saw here, and it can definitely function, and you need to be a sniper in this thing. You need to stick back, because get spotted and die. There is no getting out. Get spotted, die. That's it. It's over. So you really have to stay far back and really play the sniper role with this thing. And you do have a nice amount of speed, so you can outflank, and, well, not so much outflank, but choose different positions. You know, move up to better positions, side flanks and whatnot, but really it's the gun that kind of lets this thing down. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, it's not a bad gun. Penetration of 109 or 100, 209 or 212, something like that. It's not bad penetration, but you also have to think about this thing gets into tier 10 games. It's a tier 8 premium tank with that premium matchmaking, so 112 pen in tier 10 is not a whole lot. Trying to 112, bloody hell, 212 penetration. I mean, that's gonna have a lot of trouble just pinning the lower plate of some tier 9s already, let alone tier 10s. I don't even think with normal shells that you can pin a mouse at any angle. I think you need about 230 to 250-ish or something to pin a mouse somewhat reliably. So yeah, this thing, I don't know. I do have one as well. Of course I have one, because Mizu. But I told him ahead of time, like, I don't think this really is a fantastic tank. It does have the mobility, which is good, but it just kind of lacks in everything else. It has no armor. The gun isn't bad, but it's not fantastic. And I just read some news that the Jagdtiger 88 is getting a pretty big buff. Yeah, you heard me. Jagdtiger 88 is probably going to get a buff. It's still in super test, so not guaranteed that we're going to get all of it, but from what I saw, lower plate gets buffed to the point where it's almost as strong as the upper plate. The machine gun weakness gets removed. The roof gets additional thickness, so you can't overmatch the roof of the superstructure anymore. The superstructure actually gets, I think, a couple of degrees more slanting on it, sloping, and the top speed of the thing gets buffed. Yeah, the thing is gonna be freaking amazing. Pretty happy I picked one up now. That thing is already a really good credit earner, just because the cost of the thing is so low. The shell cost is low, and the amount of credits per damage is really good on that tank for some reason. Even with shitty games, you make 30k easy on it. Easy peasy with that premium. So yeah, it's a good credit earner. I didn't get it at first, like why it would be, but I totally see it. You really don't have to do that fantastic to get a decent amount of money out of it. But the T-34 is getting buffed as well. Yeah. Oh man, oh, loving it. T-34 is one of my favorite tanks. I love that thing. I've played it a lot, especially recently, it's just such a solid tank for me, and it performs really well. And yeah, that getting buffed, like the hatch is getting smaller, I think, or sunken into the turret a bit more. Turret armor goes up a little bit, I do believe. The side armor gains additional armor, so side scraping is actually possible with it without people just overmatching it. The upper front plate and the lower front plate are gonna get angles changed, so the degree of slanting, and I think a little bit of thickness. So overall, the thing is just gonna get a lot stronger, and it's gonna be even better at hold down. What more do you want? Less weak spots and more swings on a tank I already do very well on. Now, in recent times I've been having some bad games, but I've been having bad games in every tank, so that's nothing special. But yeah, I'm rocking a 58, 59% win rate in it. Something like that. It was going up until like a couple of weeks ago when all my games went shit, so has nothing to do with that tank. But yeah, I was just pretty much giggling when I was reading that. Like, really? Those two were getting buffs? Okay, I'll take it. Oh, that's gonna be friggin' amazing. Loving it already. 10.0 is gonna be a fantastic update. Anyways, I've been talking more than enough here. Let's take a look at the stats. So, that game went by pretty quickly and pretty easily. Now, this does show that this tank in the right situation, in the right position, can definitely do well. But so can any tank. It's the how do I put it? The normal, the everyday kind of use that sets tanks apart from being good or bad or average or workable or just completely garbage. And I think that this tank in the right position, as you saw here, can definitely do well. I can see monster games in this thing because, like I said, the gun is not bad. But once you get into tier 10 games, the gun's usability drops very rapidly. Penetration is not fantastic. And when everything can pen you, and I do mean everything, from light tanks to mediums, TDs, heavies, artillery, everything, frontally, more than likely straight through your gun mantlet, and you have no chance of bouncing, that's where things get a wee little bit dodgy with this thing. And you don't have the DPM to fight your way out of anything. An E25, I keep comparing it to it, but it's very similar in a lot of ways. An E25 going up against anything can actually outgun, out DPM a lot of things with its crazy, batshit crazy DPM. This thing, the DPM is so low that anybody will out DPS you. DPS, damage per second, DPM, damage per minute, you can use either, it doesn't matter. In either case, they will do more damage in the same amount of time as you. So, unless you have way more hit points than them, a one-on-one engagement where you're both just pinning each other, you will lose. Of course, that is not a position you want to be in with a tank like this. This is a pure sniper and nothing else. This is not a brawler. This is not a batshit crazy tank like E25 where you zippity zip through everything and then just go behind them, turn around and start unloading in their asses or sides or whatever. This thing is fast, it's not that fast. This thing is small, it's not that small. The gun is okay, but definitely not as good as an E25's tier for tier, obviously. Definitely has a lot better penetration. But so, this tank, it's difficult. Now, why is Tanker Boy here in the damage panel? What the? Maybe because he slightly banged into that IS-3, the friendly. Maybe that's why. That's bizarre. Anyways, I'm talking so much this episode. Wow. Master Batch Ace Tanker, Fire for Effect, Brothers in Arms, and a Top Gun. I guess his platoon mate didn't do too bad either. And this is what I meant. This tank is not bad at all when in the right circumstances. And as you can see here, both from the 3k damage, very respectable damage, both over 1000 experience, almost equal experience. There's only like one shot in damage between them, so not that much really. But 7 kills and 3 kills, so they got 10 kills out of 15, that's pretty damn good. That's definitely a brother in arms. Fired 26 shots, hit 21, penned 15, and yeah, 26-15. That is not ideal, and that was a top tier game, this. So you can see when you get into tier 9 and tier 10 where this thing will start to struggle. So 2800 damage done from range, very nice. We took one hit, obviously it penetrated because you don't expect it ever bouncing this thing. Spotted 2, wow, damage 9, destroyed 7, 460 spotting damage. We fired quite a bit of heats. Couple of them I would say were unnecessary, and a couple of them were a bit dodgy. Shooting a heat at a target that was dark for a couple of seconds already, that might have very well moved. Bit dodgy to shoot a heat show at, but still with a premium account, walked away with a tiny profit here, 32k, not too bad, but for a premium with premium time, not fantastic for such a good game. Yeah, we got 81 credits fine here for damaging an ally, so we did hit the IS-3 there. So in grand total, walked away with 1779 experience, not too shabby. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of what the KanonenJagdPanzer is about, how it can shine, but hopefully not mislead you into thinking that this is a fantastic tank that will always perform like that. And you really have to weigh your options if you want to get this thing. I don't think that I personally would have gotten this tank. Of course, with Mizu I didn't have a chance. And I will be testing this tank out, and I will do a full review on it as soon as I get some games like this in it. But hopefully, if it's still on sale, I'm actually not sure. This will give you an idea if you want it or not. It can be good, it can be bad. It does depend on the driver, and it does depend on the situation you are in. So, thank you guys for watching. Actually, let's take a quick look here at his platoon mate, who, wow, got a first class. He only barely had less experience, and he only gets a first class. Just curious here. 524, yeah. Again, 524 hit 22, so the accuracy isn't bad, but the penetration is a bit lacking. So we only missed 2 shells, and out of all the ones we hit, we did not pin 6 of them out of the 22, so it's less than ideal, but walked away with 38k profits. By the looks of it, fired some premium rounds as well, and for a pretty much the same amount of experience. So he missed the ace tanker by, oh wow, holy shit, 14 more experience than he would have had an ace tanker. That sucks. Oh man. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.